Hey guys, it's our first full day here in Mexico City. We finally got checked into our Airbnb last night. Not a very exciting day today. Just catching up on some stuff. We had to go to the grocery store and get stocked up on food for the week, doing some laundry and just trying to get set up. We're in the neighborhood of Coyoacán, which is a very cool little neighborhood here. Seems very bohemian. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff to do. So the plan for the day is just to get lost a little bit, kind of get our bearings in the neighborhood and see what we can see. But yeah, right now, let me give you a tour of this cool little Airbnb that we're staying at. This is the room that Rafael and I are sharing. Two nice little beds here in the background, and we've got our own bathroom just off the side of the room here. Take you upstairs so you can see what you can see. I love this place. It's really tall. Oh, my voice is going to get so boomy in the stairwell. Let's go up these really cool spiral staircases. And then we're going to see a naked rock star. Oh, we're super backlit. Yeah. So Christian's got a nice big room to himself up here because, you know, he's the talent. So he's got to have the...
Can I have the more room? The shorter I am, the bigger I need the room, you know?
This guy. All right. His room opens up into this really nice little balcony here. I mean, not much of a view. You're kind of looking out on, you know, neighborhoods where people live. Very classic Mexico. We have some dogs over here in the next house over that like to start barking at about 6 a.m. Can you hear the dogs? Hola, perrito! There they are. Yeah, they started pretty early this morning and woke us all up. Far earlier than we wanted to be up, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. All right, let me take you downstairs. We gotta go back down this windy, spiraling staircase. All right, and then we have this whole nice little living room area here. Rafael's all set up, getting his work done. Beautiful little kitchen so we can finally start to get some groceries and make some food for ourselves. Mexico City is not a super cheap city, or at least in my experience in traveling in Latin America. Most of us has been spending, you know, between 500 and 1,000 pesos a day, which is like 60, almost 70 bucks. So yeah, it's not the cheapest place in the world to live, especially if you're eating out 3 meals a day. So we're excited to do some cooking for ourselves and kind of get at least the essentials of life going. And yeah, so we're going to go wander around the neighborhood, see what we can see, and we'll see you guys there. Cheers. Well, Christian and I have left the Airbnb. We're just strolling through one of the many beautiful parks here in the Coyoacán neighborhood. And we're going to try to find our way to the Frida Kahlo Museum. Of course, as most of you already know, Frida Kahlo was a incredibly influential painter and artist here in Mexico. And she's sort of one of the symbols of this place. And her home, the Blue House,
La Casa Azul.
La Casa Azul, this was the home that she lived in for many years, first with her family, and then of course with her very famous husband as well, Diego Rivera. And after her death in 1954, Diego Rivera, in accordance with her last wishes, turned the house into a museum, so that it could be enjoyed by all the people of Mexico. So it's sort of a landmark of this neighborhood and definitely something we wanted to see. So we're gonna have a little stroll here and see if we can find it, and we'll take you guys along for the ride. All right, so we've arrived here at La Casa Azul, the former home of Frida Kahlo here. Christian and I were hoping to make it into the museum today, but part of traveling, we decided to do this on a Saturday, and as you can see behind us, there is a huge line, and unfortunately they say that they're not letting any other people in today, so I think we missed the boat on this one. Fuck it, it's part of traveling, what you gonna do? So I don't know, maybe we'll try to come back another day, but yeah, you can see Casa Azul here behind me, and at least we get to see the outside of the building, a iconic place here in Mexico City. Of course, Frida Kahlo is sort of an icon of Mexico, a very famous artist that's influential the world over for the work that she did in all different kinds of art, but magical realism, self-portraits, and yeah, she really broke down barriers in the realms of social class, in race, and even gender, which was very progressive at the time for somebody in Mexico who did the bulk of her work in the 30s and the 40s. So it's a very special place to be, even though we can't go inside. Definitely worth the walk, and yeah, what you gonna do, man? This is part of travel. So everywhere we've been going on the street, people have been offering us this. Here in Mexico, they call them Japolines, little grasshoppers. Kristen and I just pulled up at a bar and had about a liter of beer, so I'm just drunk enough to try these now. So here's my first experience with Japolines.
How do you like him?
They're good, man. They're salty. They're a little hard to get down. Okay, your turn.
De las cosas más exóticas, or the things more exotic things I've eaten, grasshoppers. My son would not like this one for sure. Salty. Yeah, great snack. I hope he wasn't alive. There you go. A tu salud. We'll tell you tomorrow if we're alive, man.
Kristen and I are just here at this outside market. One of the things you can find here in Mexico that we don't have in Canada is botanicas, shops that sell elements and different things for working Santeria. So there's something I've been looking for a while, which is this, ecu, or hutia. I don't know how to say the word in English, but hutia is like a large rodent that they have in West Africa and many places in the Caribbean, and it's a favorite food of El Egua. So whenever I travel, I like to get a special gift for El Egua so that he'll give us blessings, that we can have a safe trip, and that of course we'll return home safely. So I'm really glad that we were able to find this market today, and I was able to get some hutia for my El Egua, and this will be a great gift for when I return home in Canada. Find something that I'm not able to find at home. Okay guys, forgive me for the mask. We have to keep these on all the time here, but it's another bucket list day for me. We had to get up very early this morning and go to what is now becoming a very familiar place. That is the northern bus terminal here in Mexico City. I think it was my 4th time there just this week. But yeah, we've taken a bus out here to Teotihuacan, right behind me. you'll see the Pyramid of the Moon, and just over to my right is the Pyramid of the Sun. We're taking a stroll down the infamous Calle De Los Muertos, and yeah, this is something that maybe not a lot of people knew about me, but when I was in university I did a lot of studies in anthropology, and I actually wrote papers about this particular site. And in the world of anthropology, Teotihuacan represents one of the last great mysteries. We really know so little about this place and the people that lived here. I mean, we don't know what language they spoke, we don't know what they even called themselves. Even the name Teotihuacan is an Aztec word that they gave to this city centuries after it was abandoned. This site existed between 100 BCE and about 650, 700 CE. And at its zenith, it would have been home to, they estimate, about 100, maybe 125,000 people. Now, by today's standards, that may not seem like much, but to put that in perspective, it would have dwarfed all other settlements in the Mesoamerican world, and it actually was the 6th largest city in the world at the time. Its influence can be felt all over Mesoamerica, and at a time it actually conquered some of the large classic Mayan sites all throughout Honduras and Guatemala, like the very famous Tikal. So this is a very fascinating place, a very important place, because its influence is felt all over. Even though we know so little about the people that lived here, it's one of the things that makes this place so fascinating. Really truly is an honor to be here. If you're like me and you visit these ancient places, there's something about them, there's an energy here that exists, a connection to a past world, even one that we know so little about. You can feel yourself reaching into the past, touching something that once existed, that was so important, but that has sort of passed into the realm of mystery. And yeah, it really gives you an incredible feeling to experience it for yourself. For me, it's truly an honor to be in a place and actually put my feet in a spot that, you know, years ago I wrote a 20-page paper on, but I've never actually seen it with my own eyes. So yeah, for me it's almost a little bit emotional to finally put my feet in this place, and yeah, truly a great experience. Behind me, guys, here you see the very long street that runs through Teotihuacan here. They call La Calle De Los Muertos. Originally in its heyday, this would have been a large housing complex where the more common people of the city would have lived. And the theory with anthropologists is sometime between the years 650 and 700 CE, this whole area showed a lot of evidence of being burnt. And yeah, I guess the primary theory is that as the city started to grow, of course, the divide between rich and poor grew as well. The social stratification increased, and that perhaps there was an uprising or some sort of rebellion against those that were in the higher social classes. But again, this is just a theory. We really don't know what happened. All we simply know is that sometime around the year 700 CE, this city was abandoned, and it wasn't discovered until several centuries later, where the Aztecs gave it the natural name Teotihuacan, which loosely translated means something like the city in which gods are made. And I don't know about gods being made here, but there's certainly a majesty to this place, an energy that makes you feel like you're reaching back into something so ancient. My involvement with Santeria is not something that I share with a lot of people back home, or not a part of my life I share with a lot of people. But, you know, I could go on and on about the religious aspects of being involved in it, but YouTube is probably not the place for that. Really what it means for me, and my favorite part about being involved in the Santeria community, is that no matter where I go in the world, I have this built-in community that I can draw upon. I mean,